Good evening. I just finished wrapping up a course on the parables. We've still got to grade and do everything like that. I think I bit off more than I can chew. Between trying to have a YouTube channel and teach 2 tracks on the parables, it was quite a haul. This quarter probably has been one of the strangest. I just finished signing today 3 more requests for extensions for students. I think I probably signed over 10 of them so far. That's 1/6 of the between the 2 classes. That's more than I usually do in an entire year. It just really shows the impact of this virus across such a broad spectrum of the United States and other countries around the world. I also wanted to show you some of the garden because I was eating with 2 friends today, and they definitely let me know that they want to see more of the garden in my videos. I had to wait for the sun to go down because these 2 flowering plants here attract so many bumblebees right now. It's absolutely amazing. In an area this big, there will be 10 or 15. In fact, why don't we just roll some shots of the bumblebees now and some scenes of the garden so we can get that out of the way. After spending the past 10 weeks doing nothing but teaching the parables and dialoguing with students over the parables, you gotta excuse me if my mind is kind of framed that way, and that's about all I can think of. But having a garden like this just really reminds me of how Jesus' parables were so embedded in agricultural life at that time. Today, most people live in urban environments and cities, and so we really miss the agricultural images that are in his parables. And this pumpkin plant that we planted here from 1 seed, I think is a great example of that. I think the whole idea of the parable, the mustard seed, needs to be reframed. It needs to be the parable of the pumpkin seed. This thing has grown, and we've got like a 2-foot round pumpkin here, if not more, and it goes all the way around, wraps around at least a good 1/3 of the circular part of the garden here. It's amazing what grows. Our tomato plants have been hit with a blight, but we're still getting some good tomatoes off that end. And this plant here, the 2 in the middle, have more or less died. But I should really pick a few now because they're looking pretty ripe. Okay, I'm gonna put these things down for right now so I can finish the video. A number of people have asked about my health and how the heart's doing. So far, it's stayed in rhythm. I have a few hiccups where it'll drop out of rhythm for about a minute or 2, but it always goes back in, which is a great thing. My big question now is, where do I go from here, especially with the video series, health, and what I've been doing theologically? And so what I would like to do for the next couple weeks is just kind of have a video blog, and we're going to kind of shift it to cycling, and I'll explain why here in a second. For the past couple years, I've been helping Young Life do a fundraiser here in town where we go out and we do a 100-mile bicycle ride. Now in the past, we've always done it with large organized events, but that's canceled this year. So I'm helping them this year organize a route, help train the guys so that they can get ready for this 100-mile ride. And for some of them, it's pretty challenging. And this year, it's going to be challenging for me as well. And now it's really getting my heart and my health back into shape again. Okay, so I had to stick in some shots of the flower garden up here for you. But why am I doing this Young Life fundraiser? Well, primarily it's because one of my former students, Andy Morrison, directs the college ministry for Young Life here in town. And I've stayed in contact with him, and I really respect Andy and what he's doing a whole lot. That's why I've been involved with his ministry in doing these fundraisers. Let's just give you a teaser and cut to some shots of last weekend's training ride.
Looking good, guys.
I hope you all got a chance to see the video I did last weekend interviewing Cutter Calloway, another former student of mine who is having just a phenomenal ministry down in Pasadena and working with Hollywood as well. So be sure to check that out. I've got one more video on the parables coming out, and I've also got ideas for a short, sort of like 2 to 3 minute sort of little nugget video series that I'm thinking about putting out on biblical topics, where we just take a little nugget, hit it for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I think I'm going to call it the Caffeinated Bible Expresso. So I've got to get back inside. These tomatoes are so ripe. Some of them just fall off as soon as you touch them in your hand, and they look so good. So I've got to get inside, put these on a salad or something like that. Until then, I will leave you with just a few last shots of the garden. Peace.